My brother, who I love very much, recently had open heart surgery. So I have been spending as much time as possible with him, as has the family that is in the area. And today he is doing well, resting. So I thought I would take a little time and my brother is the youngest. We were 5 children. I was the oldest. My brother, a couple months ago, or maybe a little bit longer, experienced something to do where he knew something wasn't right with his heart. And he tried to continue on, tried to continue making the best of the situation. And then it got to a place where, 7 weeks, 6 weeks or so, he had to be taken to the hospital in an ambulance. And while he was in the hospital, they ran the full gamut of tests related to the heart and lungs, internal organs, everything they could possibly think of to try to figure out what was wrong. My brother, before he went to the hospital with the ambulance, had spent about 3 weeks having great difficulty breathing. He was searching for the next breath. And it was painful for him, very painful, and painful for me and the family who spent time with him during that time as he went through what he was going through without us knowing exactly what was wrong or what to do, and often fearing the worst. We've all gone through a little more than a year now where many have tried to cause a lot of fear with very little justification. In fact, no justification in my opinion. But that's another subject. So they did an angiogram and nuclear medicine tests on him. They went through his body head to toe. He got amazing care in the first hospital. And what was discovered was he was going to need one of the 4 valves replaced, maybe 2 valves, and maybe a 3 bypass, tripass, and maybe some other work on his heart to try to give him a chance at extending his life on earth. He, as all patients, needed to be stable. The vitals, the blood tests, the heartbeat, all of this needed to be in a range for the surgery to take place. It's amazing what science, true science, real science, can actually do in this day that we're living in. What technology is capable of doing, specifically medical technology. All of the wonderful developments that you and I get to experience and be part of our life, our wellness, our health. They put a camera inside of my brother's heart and looked around. They were able to do amazing tests before the surgery to know what they would probably need to do when they opened him up. And so as the days got closer for the surgery, because of what is going on and the fear and difficulty many people are causing, when you go through a family medical problem right now of any kind, you have great distance from the ones who need you and who you want to be close to. But the truth is going to win on that front too. There are people that are going to go through making amends for what has happened during this past year. All of the stuff that wasn't right. But for my brother, when he went into the Royal Columbian Hospital just over 2 weeks ago for his open heart surgery, which is Canada's #1 cardiac hospital, we discovered what very talented and caring and wonderful people there still are in the medical world. There are people that really do care about people, about the quality of their life, about their health, their wellness, about their mental and social and every part about their being, that it does as well as it possibly can. And while my brother was in the Royal Columbian Hospital, he discovered golden, amazing care on many different levels. One of the things that happens to us when we directly or indirectly through a loved one experience what can be end-of-life issues, life-death issues, is our intellect and our faith and our relationships, our life is all called into question. And we start thinking not so superficially about the things we may have thought superficially about, but we really find ourselves thinking seriously about life. And my brother, as he lay there in the intensive care on that Monday, waiting for surgery to take place the following day, we as a family had a good degree of peace, calm about what was then going to happen and what did happen. That whatever the outcome, we would accept it. And so on that Tuesday, we stood by the phone. The cardiac heart surgeon, it was agreed, would call me that evening when everything was finished. And he did. Surgery was more than 8 hours. My brother had one mechanical valve put into his chest after they cut his chest open down the middle, opened it up, stopped his heart, put him on life support, and began to replace one valve with a mechanical valve. A second valve they needed to do some surgery on, some tightening and some adjusting and all of the rest. And then not 3 but 2 bypasses were done. They harvested veins from his leg and arm to go around where the blockages were so that he would be able to move blood back and forth, and the valves would enable the pumping to happen. And then they cut a little piece of the hard way, which they had hoped would help with the rhythm of his heartbeat. That evening, his surgeon, Dr. Latham, called, and you don't know what to expect in these day and age because you're not in the hospital. You can't be. The quality of life measures that have been taken without justification have robbed people of those precious times when they should be there, just outside the door. But we say it is what it is. We accept what we cannot change. We know it will be different, hopefully soon. When he called, he was an amazing, pleasant, calm voice that said, because my brother is no small guy, it took a little longer than they expected, but everything spoke them out loud, so my mom Every person he touches, he does for the stranger and the friend and the family member whatever he can. But for my brother to hear that news from the doctor meant he was going to be able to positively many more people in the future and enjoy life, the adventure of life. So for that reason, I was very thankful to the one true living God who I have faith in, to the doctors and all of the medical staff, science and technology that he uses and created, that did everything they could to give him this chance at extending his life. To family, friends, and you. You and you and you. For all of your messages, for your prayers, for your good wishes, for just standing with me, with him, with us during this time, like I want to do for you. Yeah. So, what's happened since the surgery? Well, my brother had to be in the hospital longer than he should have because they left wires attached to his heart. They had an external pacemaker which wasn't able to correct the rhythm, and so he needed a second surgery while he was there in the hospital, which was not as big a surgery as the open heart one they did, but nonetheless still a surgery, still with risk, and still took us all back emotionally to the place we'd been before the first surgery. He had a pacemaker put in, and the result of that is his heart is beating strongly, correctly, fully. Now, he's got a clot in his arm, elbow area, where a lot of the poking and prodding and insertion of tubes and things happened. This is a normal risk issue that happens. He is on blood thinners, a few other medications. He is doing everything he can holistically, which we believe in as a family. And he is now recovering out of the hospital. He is walking every day, regularly throughout the day. He is getting stronger. He will have another 6 weeks or so if everything goes as planned, and then he should be able to get back to normal life, or better than normal life, better than it was the way it was before, which sounds good, doesn't it? It does to me. So for him, for you, for me, lessons we can take from these experiences that happen to us individually, or happen to people we care about, or happen to family of people we care about, whatever the case may be, are a big value and treasure in life itself and in those around us, those who we get to live life with, directly and indirectly. Indirectly, I mean through technology and distance, directly through actually being physically close by each other. So we have to value each other while we still have the time. Past year of what I wouldn't have wished on anybody, which will get fixed, which I have all kinds of my own thoughts about, the thoughts which I consider to be the truth versus what may not be. And I'm happy to talk with you, whoever you are that's listening, anytime, about my views about every aspect of what's going on right now in our world, every country around the world. I'm happy to share, because my idea is not to share my opinion as much as what is the truth. But this I know for my brother and what he just went through with his open heart surgery, and each one of us, there are common sense things that we can do better. And one of those things is taking care of ourselves through better immune system related choices. All of us have decided that regular exercise is more important than maybe we thought before. All of us need to think about the things that we eat versus what we shouldn't, at least not as much. We tend to eat out of convenience, all of us, or out of better pricing. But our bodies were designed to function well when they're taken care of. And so there are lots of wonderful, wonderful natural ways of building our immune system, which, by the way, put us in that category of not getting sick as often. And so even with an open heart patient like my brother, I'm so proud of him that he is taking all the time to consider the choices every day of what's good for him so that he can continue to do the things he was designed to do as well as possible. Strong immune systems, yeah, very important. Well, those are about the end of the thoughts that I have for now. I'm extremely, extremely grateful to you for every part you've played in this journey, even though we're not together, which is what I would really like us to be. I'm thankful that my brother's out of the hospital and that day by day he's getting stronger. And I'm thankful that we get to share more life together here on this planet Earth. Now, I'm looking forward to being with you as soon as possible. I want to be in your country, in your place, helping as many people as I can in any way that I can, especially if you're a small to medium-sized business owner, because that's my passion for not only business, but for my life. It's where I am the happiest, standing along with one or more company owners in any space. It can be nails or health or beauty or wellness, trucking, entertainment. It can be anything. It doesn't matter to me. Principles apply all business. What does matter to me is that the owner's a good person, that they're honest, and that they want to go further together than they could alone. That's what's interesting to me and what I look forward to. So every day we are one day closer to that. In the meantime, you and I, we are going to do the very best we can with what we have, where we are. We are going to choose, you and me, we are going to choose to live. There is no option. We're going to choose to live. We're going to choose to laugh every day as heartily as possible. We're going to choose to love. We're going to choose to love. And by the way, I love you. Yes, you. It's a choice and it is a feeling. It's both. And then we're going to choose to search for, research, find the truth about every area of our life. And let that truth be the adjustment and the tuning we need to the quality of life we experience. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of my life. And you can feel free to message me anytime about anything. I love the things that I see and hear. I have pretty well taken like out of my vocabulary because life is too short to limit what might be especially meaningful for a person going through a difficult time whenever it is we connect. See you as soon as possible, okay? Bye-bye.